Hello and welcome to the Annual Meeting of Shareholders for First Business Financial Services, Inc. Please note that today's meeting is being recorded. I would like to welcome Jerry Kilcoyne, Board Chair, who will lead the meeting. Mr. Kilcoyne, the floor is yours.
Good morning and welcome to the 2026 Annual Meeting of Shareholders. I am Jerry Kilcoyne, First Business Financial Services, Inc. Board Chair. First, we will hold the annual shareholder meeting and report the voting results on the 4 proposals listed in the proxy. Then we will allocate time for shareholder questions after the annual shareholder meeting is adjourned. Shareholders who enter the meeting using their voter control number may submit questions by clicking on the Q&A icon in the upper right corner of the meeting center screen, as shown in the example on the slide. If you are a shareholder and enter this meeting as a guest and would like to submit a question during the Q&A, please disconnect and rejoin the meeting using your voter control number to be validated as a shareholder. Your voter control number can be found on the notice or proxy card that you received. I call your attention to the rules of conduct for submitting questions. Questions can be submitted at any time during the meeting and will be answered during the Q&A session following the conclusion of the annual shareholder meeting. I now call the 2026 First Business Financial Services, Inc. Annual Shareholder Meeting to order. Shareholders have been asked to vote on the 4 proposals outlined in the proxy statement and summarized on the slide. All shareholders as of February 18, 2026 can vote their shares. If you have already voted, your vote has been counted. If you have not yet voted or would like to change your vote, you can do so online by selecting Cast Your Vote on the meeting broadcast page. Voting will close in the next few minutes. While we're waiting for any final votes to be cast, I'd like to acknowledge the First Business Financial Services executive officers shown on the slide and thank them for a strong year of operating and financial performance in 2025 and for their excellent leadership. I would also like to take a moment to recognize Ralph Cotton, who will be retiring from the board at the conclusion of this meeting. Ralph has served as a director of First Business Financial Services, Inc. since December of 2018. Is chair of the Audit Committee and a member of the Operational Risk Committee. He has served on the First Business Bank Board since July of 2004 and served as First Business Bank Board Chair from June 2018 until November of 2018. We thank Ralph for his 22 years of dedicated service to the board, the company, and our shareholders. As previously disclosed, Corey Chambas will retire effective May 2nd, 2026. Corey joined First Business Bank in 1993 and has served as Chief Executive Officer of First Business Financial Services, Inc. since January 2006. On behalf of the board and the entire organization, I extend our deep appreciation to Corey for his visionary leadership, which has been instrumental in driving our growth, shaping our culture, preserving our mission, and building shareholder value over the past 3 decades. We congratulate Corey on his retirement and thank him for his 32 years of dedicated service to the company and our shareholders, as well as for his many contributions to the commercial banking industry over a more than 40-year career. The company is well positioned to execute its planned leadership transition when Dave Seiler, currently President and Chief Operating Officer, assumes the role of President and Chief Executive Officer effective May 3rd, 2026. As announced on April 15th, 2026, Dave has also been appointed to the company's board of directors, concurrent with his appointment as President and Chief Executive Officer. Corey Chambas, who has served on the board since 2002, will remain a member of the board following his retirement. Voting is now closed. Abby Cowart of Computershare, the Inspector of Elections, has informed me that we have a quorum. I will now share the preliminary results. The nominees, Carla Chavarria, Jerry Kilcoyne, and Daniel Olszewski were elected to serve as directors. The First Business Financial Services, Inc. 2026 Equity Plan was approved. The compensation of the company's named executive officers was approved. And Crowe LLP has been ratified as our independent registered accounting firm. These results are preliminary until verified by Computershare. The final results will be detailed in a Form 8-K filing. The company's board of directors thanks you for attending the annual shareholders meeting and for your continued support. This concludes the 2026 Annual Meeting of Shareholders, and the meeting is adjourned. I'm now pleased to open the Q&A session to answer any questions submitted by our shareholders. Please adhere to the rules of conduct shared earlier. Sarah Kroppel, audit partner with Crowe LLP, our independent registered accounting firm, is also available to respond to appropriate shareholder questions during the Q&A session. I will now ask our corporate secretary, Lynn Ann Ahrens, to read the questions. Lynn Ann, are there any questions from shareholders?
There are no questions.
Thank you, Lynn Ann. This concludes the Q&A session. A recording of the meeting will be added to our investor relations website in the near future. Anytime you have questions, please feel free to reach out to the company via our investor relations website.
This concludes the broadcast. You may now disconnect.